Welcome, everyone. Today, we are diving into a topic that is not just important, but essential for our daily lives. It is called the wellness reset. Now, with everything going on around us, it's actually very easy to feel drained or unmotivated. But I'm here to share some simple strategies that can help you reclaim your energy, boost your motivation, and improve your gut health. So, as we explore these strategies together, I encourage you to think about how they can apply to your own life. Remember, wellness is a journey and not a destination. Let's embark on this journey together, and I promise you that at the end of it, you will feel that it's worth it. So, let me introduce myself. My name is Stephanie Chan, and you'll definitely be seeing more of me through Brello. I joined the team as a pharmacist consultant and director of member well-being. So think of me as your go-to wellness friend as you embark on your health journey. I am also certified in functional nutrition and truly passionate about helping others feel their best. In addition, I'm a mom of 2 young kiddos and a pharmacist with 10 years of experience in hormone health and nutrition. I've supported women navigating PCOS, fertility struggles, perimenopause, menopause, thyroid issues, and weight management. And I know how frustrating it is to feel like you're doing everything right, yet you're still not getting any answers. So today, I encourage you to set an intention on what you are trying to reset, whether that's your energy, your diet, or just consistency. And make sure you keep that in mind through the rest of the presentation. All right, so let's begin. Today, we are diving into something I call the wellness reset. This concept really focuses on simple strategies that can help you reclaim your energy, motivation, and gut health. So, disclaimer, these strategies are not intended to replace any advice by your medical provider, and you should always consult with your doctor first. But, these are best practices and healthy habits intended to promote your overall well-being while on your wellness journey. So, a little housekeeping as well. We will address questions and give time to answer them at the end of the presentation. If you are watching this at a later time, please leave a comment and we'll definitely get back to you. I am also sharing this QR code in the beginning, so if you have any questions, make sure you ask your questions there, and I will be sure to get through as many of them as possible. All right, perfect. So let's begin. Now, what is a wellness reset? So at its core, a wellness reset is about returning to balance and intention. We often find ourselves caught up in daily routines that don't align with how we truly want to feel. It's important to know that this isn't about a strict diet or a detox program. Instead, think of it as a refreshing approach to realign your daily habits with personal wellness goals. So, by taking the time for a wellness reset, you can reclaim your energy, your motivation, and maybe even see improvements in your gut health. Let's take a minute to dive deeper. Identify one habit that's no longer serving you and consider how to reset it this week. So, for example, I've caught myself scrolling on social media in bed for way too long, which definitely cuts into my precious sleep. This is one habit that I'm going to focus on because I always regret staying up too late the next day. Next, let's explore something we all know way too well, and that's burnout and feeling off track. We often experience this due to a mix of factors, whether it's stress, poor sleep, and the highly processed foods that we consume. Additionally, we are bombarded with information every day, leading to what I like to call information overload. This can leave us feeling disconnected from the consistent rhythms our bodies need. So as we explore the concept of a wellness reset, I think about how these factors may be affecting your daily life. So try to write down 2 top factors currently throwing off your wellness rhythm, whether it's poor sleep, or you're on a really set schedule Monday through Friday for work, and then the weekend comes and you're up way too late, you're sleeping in, that's going to throw off your rhythm. Or if you're skipping meals. Next, we'll take a closer look at the impact of gut health and why it's actually so important for our overall well-being. Okay. So, did you know that 70% of our immune system actually lives in our gut? Now, that means that what happens in our gut directly impacts our mood, our energy levels, and even inflammation in our body. When we have balanced digestion and nutrition, we often experience a clearer mind and enhanced resilience, which is what we all want. These are essential when we're trying to navigate daily challenges and stressors. Now, I want to encourage each of you to take an actionable step. For the next 3 days, track how your gut feels after your meals. Notice any bloating, changes in energy, or shifts in your mood. This simple practice can provide valuable insight into how your diet affects your overall health. So, for example, if you had a salad loaded with vegetables and protein one day and you notice you feel great, but then the next day you have a burger for lunch and suddenly you're dragging your feet at 2 p.m. Or you have the food-itis, there is a real connection that you are seeing and feeling between what you eat and how you feel, if that makes sense. And now let's explore some gut-friendly habits that can truly enhance your well-being. First, think about incorporating more fiber and fermented foods into your diet. These options not only promote gut health, but also improve digestion and boost overall energy levels. The recommended fiber intake daily is between 25 to 38 grams per day, getting it from things like your fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and legumes. I usually recommend a minimum of 30, and that can really keep things moving along because, we know the fiber and the fermented foods can really support regular bowel movements, prevent constipation, and feed beneficial gut bacteria. Supporting your gut doesn't really have to be complicated at all. We really want to use these small, consistent habits like adding fiber and fermented foods and eating mindfully, and these can all make a big difference. When I say fermented foods, I'm talking about things like sauerkraut, kimchi. Those are two great options that it's rich in minerals and it's probiotic rich as well. Other things could be things like kefir or even like yogurt with probiotics in it. Also, don't underestimate the simple changes like chewing your food thoroughly or taking a walk after your meals. Doing these consistently can help support better digestion and just overall gut health in general. Another big one I like to mention is just not multitasking when you're eating. I know it's so hard when you have a phone nowadays. You're probably scrolling, not really paying attention to the food that you're eating. Another challenge, put that phone down, sit down and be in like a parasympathetic environment when you are eating because that is going to promote digestion naturally. All right, so let's dive into another crucial gut-friendly habit, and that is staying hydrated. Water is an obvious choice, but what I really like to focus on is getting enough electrolytes and minerals because plain water won't hydrate our body on a cellular level. Now, in general, the recommended daily intake is between 90 to 125, 130 fluid ounces of water or fluids. So a good rule of thumb is to drink half your body weight in ounces. For example, if you weigh about 150 pounds, aim for at least 75 ounces of water daily. Another way to stay hydrated is to eat foods with high water content. So things like cucumbers, watermelon, and oranges. Now that we are entering the summer and, like the hot months, I encourage you to use the fruits that are in season to stay hydrated. I also want to mention here that the goal is not to run to the bathroom every 20 minutes or until your urine runs clear. In fact, that is just a sign that all the liquids you're drinking is running straight through you and you're not really hydrating again on that cellular level. So staying hydrated supports digestion, helps maintain your energy levels, and you might even see a mood lift. These benefits show just how connected our hydration and gut health actually are. So, as we move forward, keep in mind that everything I talk about may seem obvious already, and you're wondering how it can actually make a difference. And you're right, in a sense. None of these one things will help you reset, but when you're intentionally making these small changes, I promise you it is a compounding effect and it will add up and you will feel like a better version of yourself. Okay, so next, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the connection between energy and inflammation. Now, inflammation can really drain your energy levels and make you feel heavy without any changes on the scale. And it's crucial to understand what contributes to this. First and foremost, I think everyone knows that refined sugars are a common culprit that can exacerbate inflammation. So think your table sugar, high fructose corn syrup, cane sugar, different artificial sweeteners, and different syrups that we're getting through like desserts and fruits and our drinks and things like that. These factors can lead to a cycle of fatigue and discomfort. For weight management and wellness goals, the American Heart Association and World Health Organization actually recommend have set daily recommendation limits for refined sugar. For men, that could be up to about 36 grams. And for women and children, that's going to be closer to 25 grams. So let's put this into perspective. I looked this up. A grande Starbucks coffee frappuccino has about 45 grams of sugar, and a caramel frappuccino has about 54 grams. This isn't to shame your choice of morning caffeine or anything like that. I get it. But, this does help to put into perspective how little things and how little swaps can really impact how you feel. Next, let's talk about stress and how it can also impact inflammation in our body, and we'll also explore some effective strategies for combating the stress. First, we have mindfulness and meditation. Techniques like mindfulness-based stress reduction can significantly lower our stress levels and even reduce inflammatory markers. This is a powerful tool in our wellness toolkit. I, admit that meditation is really hard, even for myself, but starting with 2 or 5 minutes daily and building on that can really make a difference. Next, we can't overlook the importance of regular physical activity. Engaging in exercise not only releases these feel-good endorphins, but also help us combat stress-induced inflammation. It's basically a win-win for both our mood and our health. General recommendations say to aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic exercise or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity aerobic exercises. And that's per week. Now, my favorite type of movement is anything that incorporates strength training. This not only helps you build lean muscle mass, but it improves your overall metabolic health. So if you only have 30 minutes a day to get some sort of movement in, I encourage more strength-based training instead of just going out for a run. Working on your flexibility and balance with yoga or stretching is also great to reduce the risk of injury and improve overall physical function. Now, what I like to tell people is just to start moving and with an activity that is doable for you. So for example, if you like to walk your dog, start there. If you like pickleball, go, do more or enter some pickleball tournaments or practice pickleball more frequently during the week. If you're currently pretty sedentary, challenge yourself to a 20 or 30 minute walk every morning. Consistently hit these goals or hit this goal for a week before adding a weighted vest or increasing your walking speed. When you push yourself too hard in the beginning, you're more likely to stress your body out and then give up. And also, please listen to your body. Make sure you are giving your body adequate rest and recovery to prevent overtraining, which can lead to increased inflammation and stress. Lastly, let's talk about social support. Strong connections can offer with others can, buffer these against stress and lessen its physiological impacts. So reach out to your friends, your family, and connect with a community, whether it's at your gym or our Brello community. With these strategies, we can effectively manage stress and improve our overall health. Other anti-inflammatory tips I want to emphasize is the importance of nourishing our bodies with the right foods. First, let's talk about eating colorful whole foods. This means incorporating a variety of fruits and vegetables into your meals. The more colors on your plate, the more nutrients you're getting. Consuming anti-inflammatory foods, think vibrant fruits, fresh vegetables, wholesome grains, and omega-3 fatty acids can really make a difference in combating inflammation and energy. Next, managing your blood sugar with balanced meals is crucial. Opt for meals that include a good mix of protein, healthy fats, and fiber. This will not only keep your energy steady throughout the day, but will also help reduce inflammation. Finally, let's not forget about prioritizing restorative sleep, not just just sleeping. Quality sleep can significantly impact how our body handles stress and inflammation. So aim for a consistent sleep schedule and create a calming bedtime routine. I like to say, put your phone away for at least 60 minutes before you get into bed, and creating a really dark environment and cool so it is comfortable for you to fall asleep and stay asleep. Now, these 3 tips, the colorful foods, balanced meals, and restorative sleep, can make a profound difference in how we feel and function daily. So for your reset, I want you to pick one of these anti-inflammatory items to try to implement this week to work towards a sustainable and healthy change. If you could do all 3, that's even better. Now let's talk about motivation and how it's actually a rhythm that fuels our consistency. First, let's clarify that motivation isn't just a fleeting mood. It's the product of consistent habits. When we establish routines, we create a structure that encourages us to keep moving forward. Think of it this way. The less you have to think about your choices, the more energy you conserve for getting to your goals. Next, reducing decision fatigue is key. By having daily routines, you streamline your day, allowing you to focus on what really matters. Finally, remember to start small. Building momentum is crucial. Small, achievable steps lead to significant changes over time. Now, this approach not only helps in maintaining motivation, but also supports better health, which is, of course, essential for our overall well-being. One thing I like to focus on, especially with my patients, is when it comes to motivation, is finding my why or finding their why. So if you're on a health journey, I want you to dig deep and think about why you're ready to make a change. For example, if you say, I want to have more energy, why? Is it so you could run around with your kids? Or is it because you're tired of relying on your coffee to get through your day? If you say you want to lose weight, why? Is it just to see the scale or the number on the scale drop? Or is it really to feel confident in your body again? So I challenge you to go several levels of asking yourself why until you unravel what is really driving your desire to become healthier. Write this down and always come back to it when you're feeling a bit unmotivated. Okay. Now let's put it all together and go over a sample wellness reset routine that can help you integrate healthy habits into your everyday life right away. We can break this down into 3 key parts. With your morning, you could start your day with hydration, some light movement, and a nutrient-rich breakfast. This sets a positive tone for the day ahead. Remember, what you consume in the morning can significantly impact your energy and hunger levels throughout the rest of the day. Midday, make sure you take a screen break, enjoy a fiber-rich lunch, and stay hydrated. These simple actions can re-energize you and improve your focus for the rest of the day. And then in the evening time, this is wind down time. So you want to minimize screen time, have a protein and veggie-rich dinner, and reflect on how your day went and what you are grateful for. This helps you prepare for a restful night's sleep and prepare for the next day. By establishing this routine, you can create a balanced approach to wellness that fuels your motivation and consistency. All right, so this is, as we wrap up, we are going to bring your wellness reset to life. We're also going to discuss some practical tools that help you stay consistent on your wellness journey. Using a wellness tracker, whether it's a journal, smartwatch, an app to log your meals, proteins, hydration, these tools are so helpful to maintain consistency and accountability. And you can always go back to it to kind of reflect on what changes helped and which changes didn't. Consider meal prepping 1 to 2 times a week or using a meal prep service. Not only does this save time, but also ensures you have nutritious options ready to go and avoid pitfalls of eating food for availability. If you have any favorite meal preps or meal planning services, please let our community know, whether you're putting it in the comments or sharing it in our Facebook and Reddit groups. We would love to hear from you, and our community would love that information as well. Next, another tool that is recommended is setting alarms for breaks and the habits, that need implementing and hydration. This simple act can significantly improve your focus and energy levels throughout the day. Lastly, it is crucial to make your environment support your goals. Surround yourself with reminders of your wellness intentions, whether it's healthy snacks or motivational quotes. Remember the exercise we just did with your why. You could write it on a Post-it and stick it on your mirror so you are reminding yourself every morning. These strategies can help you develop habits that actually stick. In addition to wellness tracking, to ensure your success, there is also our Brello wellness community to support you on your journey. In just a few months, we have had more than 20,000 people place order through Brello, and over 9,000 of you have already joined our community. That is not a flex, it is just a reminder that if you are ever feeling alone, you are not anymore. You have almost 10,000 people that you could rely on who is on the similar journey with you. So I have QR codes up, and I encourage you to join our Facebook and Reddit groups using the code word THRIVE. These groups are going to be better, way better than before, and we have so much in store for our members. I want you to stay tuned for giveaways, challenges, and more tools that help you stay on track. We are really building something more than just, we are really building a community that we are so excited to have you be a part of, and your contribution is what's going to make it. What else you can expect from us? So we are working, towards a better consumer experience. This is going to include bringing in registered dietitians, fitness specialists, therapists, and of course, pharmacists to host exclusive webinars, training seminars, and Q&As, all designed to support your journey with expert guidance. Now, we want to hear from you about the webinar I just presented. So what questions do you have? We want you to feel supported. So if you have any questions, please use this QR code and input your questions now. And I will also, I'll try to get through as many as possible. If you are, again, watching this at a later time, make sure you are leaving in the comment section, and our team will definitely get back to you. All right. Lastly, I want you to share your thoughts with us. Please scan this QR code and give your input for future content. We are excited again to have, just to be a part of your wellness journey. Thank you so much for showing up, asking questions, giving input, and just being open. We're in this to build something that lasts. This isn't going to be another fad diet, or a short stint in your health that you feel great for a few months and then you fall off the wagon again. So we are striving to earn your trust every step of the way, and I am just excited to be a part of this journey with you. So I will leave this QR code up for a few minutes, but that concludes our webinar today. I hope everyone enjoyed that information. I really had a good time and a fun time kind of sharing it. I know that all these habits have really made a difference in my life. I implement it with my kids as well as my husband, and this is this is always a work in progress. There will always be setbacks, but like I said, everything I mentioned, these habits, just stay with it. And it's really the small changes that will add up over time and make a big impact on your life. If you have any questions, again, please leave them in the comment, or there is a question. What about the fluid intake items have the most electrolytes without too much sugar intake? What do you recommend? Good question. So I love, of course, whole food comes to mind first. When in the sense of whole foods, I really like coconut water. That is a natural source of electrolytes. It's really great with potassium and helping you feel hydrated. Other than that, there are some great supplements out there that does kind of like cut back on a lot of the sugar content. So one company that comes to mind is like Paleo Valley. They have great electrolytes. They have a great electrolyte blend with no added sugar. And again, natural sugars like the ones found in fruits aren't going to be the downfall of you. It's really the refined sugars that we're talking about. So coconut water is one of my favorites. Even if you do water and add your own things like cucumbers and fruits to it, that's going to add a little bit more to just plain water. That's a good question. Do you have a favorite app or a way for screening or shopping for healthy foods? So I personally don't, but my go-to for my hack for healthy food shopping is, instead of focusing on the macros and the nutrition facts of fats, carbs and protein, my eyes actually go to the ingredient list first. How the nutrition facts label works is that the first few items is going to be what makes up the most of that product. So if they are things that you don't recognize, or they're things like fillers and sugar, if sugar is number 2 on that list, you know that it's going to be primarily made up of sugar or some form of sugar. So that's kind of my go-to hack. I think that's a great kind of webinar for a next webinar topic on, how do we shop? How do we know what products to go for? The other way is just to simply choose whole foods. If you think about I don't know if you guys may have paid attention before, but if you think about a layout of a supermarket, if you pay attention next time you go supermarket or grocery shopping, if you shop in the perimeter of the supermarket, that is where you'll find most of your whole foods. So think your produce section, the protein, that's always along the outside of the supermarket. And then within the aisles is where you'll find your snacks and your chips and cereals and things like that. So, another hack that I have is just to shop in the perimeter of a grocery store first and then go through the aisles for everything else. But that's just another little hack that I do with my family. So we are focusing on the whole foods first. Great question though. And I think that would be a great topic for an upcoming webinar. Perfect. I hope this, all right, sounds good. So if I will conclude there, we will be sending out a replay for this webinar. So definitely check that out. It would be a YouTube link. But if you have any questions, again, use the community. And yeah, it was great having everyone here. Thank you so much.